That penthouse scene in episode 5 isn't there just to flex Robert House on screen like a cameo trophy. It's there to warn you, because the second Cooper Howard steps into House's world, the vibe instantly changes. It stops feeling like a Fallout flashback and starts feeling like a trap closing. House isn't the kind of character who reacts emotionally. He doesn't run on impulse. He doesn't get swept up in drama. House runs on systems. Control systems, surveillance systems, prediction systems. And the moment he's looking at Cooper, you can feel the exact second the math doesn't add up. It's like House is staring at him thinking, you're not supposed to be important, so why are you suddenly in every equation? And that's what makes this meeting terrifying, because Cooper walks in there believing he has leverage, fame, reputation, connections, a wife with vault tech ties, a mission that feels righteous. He walks into Vegas thinking this is still a world where a man can do the right thing and win. But Robert House doesn't greet him like a rich man. He greets him like a scientist catching a lab animal doing something it shouldn't be able to do. Not impressed, not angry, just intensely curious. Like he's already halfway through deciding what to do with you. And if you love breakdowns where we take Fallout's biggest scenes and rip out the hidden meaning underneath them, subscribe, because we're not missing what this story is really building. Now let's tear this scene open, because House didn't meet Cooper to debate him. He met Cooper to classify him, to label him, to decide whether Cooper is a threat, a tool, or an ingredient. First, you need to notice how the scene is staged. Cooper doesn't walk into a normal confrontation. He walks into a controlled environment. House has built layers between himself and the outside world, like he's allergic to randomness. Even the way Cooper gets to him is a process. Step 1, the fake House. Step 2, the realization it's a decoy. Step 3, being summoned upstairs like you're not a guest, you're a subject. The moment someone says, Mr. House would like to see you, that's not an invitation. That's a system pulling you inward. That's House saying, you didn't find me, you entered my structure. And that matters because House doesn't just want power. He wants power where nothing unexpected can touch him. And Cooper is unexpected. Look at Cooper's mindset when he arrives. He thinks he's entering enemy territory, but still believes he's steering the situation. He came here to stop a cold fusion exchange that could rewrite the future. He's connected to Barb. He has access. He has Moldaver's push behind him, and most importantly, Cooper thinks he's still the one choosing, but House doesn't treat him like a man with agency. He treats him like a variable that slipped past the firewall, because the penthouse scene isn't about House meeting Cooper. It's about House inspecting him, and the show makes that obvious by how quickly the politeness dies. House doesn't waste time with charm. No fake friendliness. No warm greetings. He basically slams down the truth immediately. He knows Cooper came to kill him. Not suspects. Not guesses. Knows. And that changes everything, because it means House has been tracking Cooper long before Cooper even understood who he was dealing with. And this is where the show does something slick, because episode 5 frames the penthouse meeting as the payoff. But it also quietly reveals House has been brushing up against Cooper for a while. There's that earlier scene, the weird bathroom interaction that feels goofy on the surface. But in hindsight, it plays completely differently, because it wasn't random. It was House doing what House always does, getting close without exposing himself, testing the temperature, studying your voice, watching how you react when you don't realize you're being evaluated. Cooper didn't know what that was, but House did. And by the time Cooper reaches the penthouse, House is no longer meeting a stranger. He's confirming something he's been monitoring, which brings us to the big question. If House already knows Cooper is dangerous, why not erase him? Why not have Victor handle it? Why not cut the problem out instantly? In Fallout, people disappear every day, so why talk? Why bother? Because House doesn't just remove threats. He studies them, because Cooper isn't just a problem, he's a signal, a glitch in the model, and House can't rest until he understands why. Now, the obvious layer is simple. House wants cold fusion. He's acquiring it through vault tech. He sees it as the future-proof power source that keeps him alive, keeps Vegas alive, and keeps control in his hands indefinitely. That's the surface explanation. Cold fusion equals energy. Energy equals survival. Survival equals dominance. House doesn't worship gold, he worships infrastructure. But here's the thing, if cold fusion was the only reason, Cooper wouldn't matter. House could buy it, steal it, or outsource the problem. The only reason you personally meet House is if you're more valuable alive than dead. And Cooper is. Because Cooper isn't just standing in the way of the deal. Cooper is connected to something deeper, something House can measure, but can't explain. This is the moment the penthouse scene stops being cool lore and becomes disturbing. House reveals he runs predictive models, not vibes, not guesses, literal calculations, global conditions, political instability, military movement, technological escalation, and at some point those models spit out a doomsday time, a precise timestamp, April 14th, 2065, 5:17 a.m. That's not poetic, that's House telling Cooper, I can forecast the end of the world down to the minute. But then Cooper recognizes the date, and you can feel the air change. Because that isn't just a date. That's Janie, his daughter, her birthday. So now the end of everything is stamped with the name of his child. Not metaphorically, literally. And then House drops the detail that makes it worse. Barb was supposed to come to Vegas alone, but Cooper came with her. And the second Cooper made that choice, the apocalypse shifted. Not by years, not by days, by a month. Meaning House is looking at Cooper like, you altered the timeline. That's why House is intense. That's why he isn't casual. Because Cooper isn't just a human being. He's a moving piece that causes measurable distortion. And House doesn't tolerate distortion. This is the real answer. House wants to control Cooper because Cooper is a variable that refuses to behave. House even makes it clear. He hates unknowns. He hates factors he can't lock down. He's not afraid of chaos. He's offended by it. So Cooper becomes a problem House cannot ignore. Not because Cooper is some genius mastermind, but because Cooper is the one guy who keeps popping up in the wrong place at the wrong time and bending outcomes by accident. House doesn't care about your intentions. House cares about your impact, and Cooper's impact is showing up on House's radar like a warning light. So what does House do? He doesn't shoot him. He doesn't arrest him. He attacks his mind. This is what makes House terrifying. He doesn't need a gun because House's real weapon is reframing reality. Cooper arrives believing, I'm here to stop something evil. House flips it into, what if your attempt to stop it causes it? And the second that thought gets inside Cooper's head, Cooper slows down, he doubts himself, he hesitates, and that's all House needs. Because doubt turns courage into caution, guilt turns action into paralysis, fear makes people predictable. That's why House pushes Cooper so hard with the identity attack. He basically tells him, you're playing cowboy, your wife is playing apocalypse chess, you're out of your depth. And then when Cooper resists, House labels him as something else, a killer. That word is not random, that word is a hook. Because once Cooper accepts that label, even slightly, House can use him. This is where the New Vegas DNA starts screaming through the scene. Because House doesn't operate by walking into danger himself. He doesn't get his hands dirty. He uses intermediaries. In New Vegas, House's entire strategy is built around using an outsider, someone he can deploy into the messy world while he stays behind the curtain. A courier, a movable human asset. That's what Cooper is being shaped into here. Not because House respects him, but because Cooper has something House doesn't. He can blend with humans. He can talk like a normal man. He can walk into rooms that would never open for a robot. He can improvise. He can lie. He can survive. Cooper is messy, and House needs messy because House's world is clean, but the real world is chaos. So House is evaluating Cooper like, what kind of weapon are you? Then comes one of the most insane reveals tied into this whole arc. House tells Cooper he could see what Cooper saw in Alaska through armor systems, through surveillance tech, meaning House wasn't only watching boardrooms, he was watching battlefields, he was watching anomalies, he was watching the impossible, including the demon in the snow, which tells you something huge. House isn't only chasing power, he's chasing the thing behind the curtain. It's a prophecy, a forced identity, a role assignment, and once Cooper believes it, his downfall accelerates. So what does Robert House really want from Cooper? Here's the clean answer. House wants cold fusion. Yes, because it powers his forever plan. But House also wants Cooper because Cooper is connected to Vault-Tech's inner circle, Barb's access and influence, apocalyptic decisions being made quietly, the unknown player House can't identify, the anomalies House is tracking from the shadows, and the timeline shifts House can measure but not explain. Cooper is the bridge between the human emotional world and the secret machine world. House can't walk that bridge himself, so he wants Cooper on it. Close enough to watch, close enough to steer, close enough to turn into a tool. That's why the scene hits so hard, because Cooper walks into that penthouse thinking he's still choosing. House makes him realize he's already inside the machine, and the machine doesn't care if you're good, it only cares if you're useful. So when Cooper leaves that room, he doesn't just leave with information, he leaves contaminated, doubt in his head, fear in his chest, his daughter's birthday tied to the end of everything, and House's voice stuck in his skull like a virus. And if House is right, then there's still someone else out there playing a bigger game, someone House can't name yet, someone tied to the demon in the snow, someone who may have been steering the apocalypse all along, which means Vegas isn't the finish line, it's the first domino. And Cooper isn't just passing through, he's being set up as either the weapon House deploys or the unpredictable piece that finally proves House doesn't always win. And that is the real meaning of episode 5's penthouse scene. It isn't "look, Mr. House," it's "this is the moment Cooper's life stopped being his own." And if you want the next Fallout breakdown, the second it drops, more clues, more hidden meaning, more theories, more insane connections, subscribe, because the end game behind this story, it's about to get uglier.